The streets of Cairo became a battleground as supporters and opponents of the president clashed in the worst public violence since he took office 5 months ago. The anger between the two sides began earlier in the day, as anti-Morsi demonstrators again grouped outside the palace. Faced with more public anger, the Muslim Brotherhood called for a show of support on the streets. Several hundred Islamists arrived on the scene and began arguing with their opponents. Some anti-government protesters who had been there overnight had their tents ripped down and thrown into the street. As the day progressed, scuffles broke out between the opposing sides. There were also anti-government protests in other towns across Egypt. In Ismailia, the offices of the Muslim Brotherhood were set on fire, a sign that months of growing political polarization in Egypt is turning into an open battle between pro-government Islamists and liberals who fear a new dictator. As anger between the two sides escalated on the streets of Cairo, inside the presidential palace, the vice president tried to defuse the situation, promising that the government would talk to opposition leaders about amending the draft constitution.
I am confident that if not ours, we will see an end to this crisis and an agreement within a few days.
With no sign of President Morsi, who left the presidential palace through a back door the previous day, the vice president insisted that the U-turn was entirely his own idea. For the Muslim Brotherhood to back down in the face of increasing public protest is a victory for the pro-democracy lobby. But out on the streets of Cairo, anger was still running high, with both sides throwing stones and petrol bombs at each other and fighting well into the night.